Thorfinn, Heroism and Futility. What's up, my dudes? Welcome to another Vinland Saga analysis video. And I know I've made a bunch of Thorfinn videos, but boy, there's so much to talk about him. Today, we will analyze the concept of heroism in Vinland Saga and its connection to the theme of futility. Is Thorfinn a hero? And is there any point in his struggle? Shout out to Sulmatul, whose similar video on pathologic inspired me to make this video. The prologue. In the prologue, our protagonist is a lot of stuff. A deadly Viking teenager, a vengeful scoundrel, but he's definitely not a hero. If anything, he's a little monster. He's strong and skilled with the knives, yes, but he's far from the strongest character in this arc. And even though he does achieve a couple of victories, he hasn't got many feats under his belt. He's a child, he's still learning. On the ethical side, narratively, it is really important that our protagonist spends so much time committing crimes and being flawed, since that will play a major role in his character development later. It is interesting to note how short-sighted Thorfinn is in the prologue. His goal to defeat and kill Askeladd is pathetic. Understandable, but short-sighted. If Askeladd were to die from a stray arrow or to lose his head in the battlefield, Thorfinn would be left to wander aimlessly. He's so focused, blinded by his rage, that one could describe him as a pitiful and narrow-minded man. The theme of futility applies here since the protagonist is lacking agency. He follows Askeladd's group around, committing atrocities and simply waiting for Askeladd to give him a proper duel so that he can claim his life. Spoilers about the end of the prologue from this point onward. To add insult to injury, he never gets his revenge, making all of his previous efforts and struggle meaningless. Part 2. Farmland Arc. What is heroism in futility? It's basically when a hero, despite his best efforts, cannot solve a major problem of his world. That could be because the problem is so enormous that solving it would change the very fabric of his world, or because life or fate constantly knock him down and ruin his plans. A couple of heroes in futility that come to mind are Guts and Dankovsky, the Bachelor. How is Thorfinn connected to these guys and this concept, you ask? Well, through his goal of founding a society without slavery or war. In the Farmland arc, Thorfinn is faced with the demons of his past, the memories of the people he killed. In addition, he has lost his last bits of agency after he was sold as a slave. His meeting with Einar and the experience of slavery shake him to the core. He realizes how minuscule, powerless he is, unable to change the world, to change Europe, to erase war and the slave trade. And yet, he makes a decision to build a settlement in Vinland. This undertaking is practically almost impossible, and it still won't guarantee that war will not reach Vinland. Yet, our protagonist, at his lowest point, makes his first heroic act to turn his life around and pursue a noble goal, not for himself, but for the entire human race. From this point forward, we witness Thorfinn's heroism and his struggle against fate. For many chapters, and all the way to the end of the Baltic Sea war arc, Thorfinn's actions seem futile. He makes one step forward, and life pushes him several steps backwards. He travels to Halfdan, but then is given the task of traveling to Greece. He accepts Gudrid and his crew, only to be chased by the son of Halfdan, Sigurd. He tries to be a better man, only to be faced with Hild and be severely wounded, leaving him incapable of moving for several months. He tries to sell some goods to gain experience for his trip to Greece, only to be tangled into the Joms-Viking War of Succession. And here's the thing, Thorfinn this whole time is in this crusade without knowing whether he'll ever reach Vinland. He's lacking resources, money, rations, ships, and yet he still continues. Part 3. The verdict. If we were to objectively look at Thorfinn's life up to this point, yeah, he's not a hero. His crimes will always burden him, and he's nothing but a simple man. One wound, one infection, one terrible storm could end his life. There are no magical healers in his group, no senzu beans, and no Lazarus pits. He has one life, and he has devoted it to change the world for the better. What makes him a hero in your eyes, then? Well, his struggle and his sense of duty. He's the only warrior in the entire series who dared to look at his mistakes and tried to correct them. He reminds me of a quote by one of the greatest writers of my country, Greece, Nikos Kazantzakis. You should love responsibility. You should say, I alone have the duty to save this earth. If it perishes, I am to blame. Only a real man would admit this. It takes a true warrior to struggle against all odds, and only a hero would take the burden of humanity's salvation on his shoulders. And that hero is named Karlsefni. So if you enjoyed this video, hit like and smash that subscribe button for more amazing Vinland Saga content. If you want to see more Vinland Saga analysis videos, I got a whole playlist about them. Check it out. I talk about Thorfinn, Thors, Leif, Knut, everyone. Leave a comment below telling me what did you think about my analysis video about Thorfinn and heroism in a world of futility. See you in my next Vinland Saga video, guys. Until next time, fellow taco adventurers.